Hey guys, this is Ben Schultz, also known to the music making world as The Fledgling, and this is part 3 of 7 in the Deer in the Headlights tutorial series. If you haven't already, please go take a look at parts 1 and 2, or if you're feeling as macho as John Arbuckle from Garfield, you are welcome to jump in here and now. We're happy to have you. Now, I know I said we're going to do Hyperdraw this day, but I pushed that back one section so we can focus on beefing up the synth section this time. I promise we'll get to that in the next video, but that's not going to make much sense unless we complete our synthesizer section here. That being said, today's going to be shorter, and today's going to be more of a critical listening exercise than anything else. And I know that sounds boring, but believe me when I say your ears are your most important tool. And if you've learned how to, and taken the time to listen and identify different frequency ranges, to listen to different instruments, to listen to specific notes, have honed your ear and know the flow of a song, can pick out the verses, the chorus, the bridge, for example, you will have done more than most in this field, and have a very good edge when it comes to creating original songs. So with that being said, we're going to get the ball rolling here and do a quick comparison between what we have and what Adam has once more. And the question I'd like you to answer now is what synths does Adam have running in his track up here that we don't yet have down here? So if you're ready with your pen and paper, let's hit the jump. So, what did you hear? I heard at least 2 more synths that Adam's using, and to save time, and in the classic style of the baking shows where they pull the finished product out of the oven before you even had a chance to hear their first or comprehend their first words, I have created a project already, and pulling the tracks from that now, and name them classically mid and lead, and they're basically self-explanatory. This is in the mid-range here, and this is the lead synthesizer that comes in the very, very end. And I will first show you what these sound like separately, and then all together, just to give you an idea of how they sound. So, here we go. Now, if that doesn't sound exactly like what Adam has, don't worry. We'll take care of the details later. But what I wanted you to get a sense of is how those sound separately. And now here it is, all the synths together now. Should sound pretty good. Notice what I didn't do. I didn't show you the notes being used, and this is a file from the teaching part of my brain. This is to help you I've soloed these out to help you hear what they sound like, but also to challenge you a little bit, and to figure them out on your own. Because if you have the musical know-how to get this far, you probably know enough to pick out one or two more instruments, and I bet you can do it. Challenge yourself. I dare you. Of course, if you want to cheat, you can look ahead to the next video, and the notes will obviously be there because we'll be working in more detail. But this is your chance to learn more and to hone your ears. So if you take advantage now, I commend you. So that's pretty much what we have going here, and that's the basic gist of it. And here's an easy hint for you, actually. If you copy the bass synth settings and then just remove the modulation settings we so carefully crafted in the previous section for this one, you will actually have a ready-made synth for your mid and your lead. That's it. That's all that needs to be done. As a note of strictly a note of color, I've also taken liberties to add two more synthesizers. They're called Mid Amp and the Saw Square Bass, and these are purely aesthetic and purely subjective. And you may come up with something completely different to make your synth section sound fuller. What I did here is taken the mid synthesizer and run it through a guitar amp. And so it sounds kind of like a guitar. But the reason I did this was, well, one, I was pressed for time because it was a quick demo, and two, I don't have an electric guitar. So that's the cheesy shortcoming in the patchwork there. And then the Saw Square Bass is a bass synthesizer using the same one we used before, the ES2. And it just adds more low end. So these are purely aesthetic, and the ways around them you would find can be completely different, and that's perfectly fine. But that's what I heard, and that's what my ear picked up on, and so that's pretty much it for this section. I'm gonna play you out and show you what this sounds like all together now, and hopefully next time we'll get into some hyperdraw, and we'll start making some good magic there. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time.